Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. Not really different, but it's actually something that a viewer requested a couple days ago, and I finally managed to squeeze some time in to do this video, especially before Machina comes out, because this viewer of mine commented on my pain video asking to discuss the differences between Machina, Noel, and Locke. And the only reason why they asked for me to do this type of video was because of the fact that I guess there has been some people who have been saying that these characters practically do the same thing. And I'm just like, I was kind of flabbergasted when I heard this. I was like, this can't be true. So I took the idea, I took the suggestion. I was like, you know what? Let's make a video talking about this. Let's talk about these three BT characters. Let's talk about the differences between these three BT characters, and also mention a couple things, and also talk about a few other things as well. So I'm gonna try to keep this thing short, but normally with my videos, they're really not, and I really don't do it on purpose. I promise you, I don't. I want to just make sure that everybody understands, like, these three characters, they may have one slight similar thing with all three of them, but in general though, they all do different things. So we're going to be talking about all of that in this video. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. I normally don't take video suggestions like this, but this one in particular caught my attention. I was like, okay, I feel like this definitely needs to be said, so that way people know that, like, hey, like, say if you pull for Machina, there's no reason to pull for Noel or for Locke, or if you pulling for Noel, but you can skip Machina and Locke, you know what I mean? So let me know if you guys I guess, like, enjoy this type of, like, videos where I kind of, like, discuss things like this, things that you mentioned down in the comments of my videos. And let me know what you guys think about the overall discussion for this video. And of course, if you do enjoy it, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And yeah, let's talk about it. So let's talk about the BTFX first, because I want to make sure that everybody knows that there are differences. I mean, there might be like one or two similarities, but, like, there are differences between these three characters. So Machina is going to be coming out tomorrow as I'm recording this video, as a C80 character, because he already has the C90 in JP, but for global, you guys are going to be getting C80 Machina. Now, C80 Machina, with his BT effect, he has HP damage up, max Brave cap up, and gains / stolen max Brave overflow up. Now, this is party wide. So I don't want anybody to get the confusion with his BT with this little I guess, like, slide that I made for you guys. But so yeah, so you can tell right there, like, Machina's, like, big thing is the fact that obviously Machina, he does do a lot of brave hits. So with having that HP damage cap up and the gain / stolen max brave overflow up, you kind of expect for him to be capping a good amount, and he can, but of course he does need a little bit of help, but we'll get into that towards the end of the video. Now, with Noel's BT effect, he does have two things in his BT effect that is only focused on himself, which is his EX speed gets sped up. So basically, like every other turn, from my experiences on using Noel in JP, you pretty much have access to his EX ability, and his EX ability, like, since he is going to be coming to global as C90, his EX ability is very, very strong, and his BT effect complements what his EX ability does. Now, he does also get free skill uses, and this only applies to himself, which is good because it does extend his longevity a bit in long fights, which we'll get into here in just a bit. And then for the party, he provides the party with brave damage cap up and / brave damage cap up. So pretty good BT effects, not only for himself but also for the party as well, because you do have a mixture of brave and HP damage up, which is a good thing. Now, with Locke has a variety of things in his BT effects. So this is entirely party-wide. So he provides brave damage that ignores defense. Yes, that means that basically any of your teammates that you bring with Locke, and as long as he has that BT effect active, your teammates' brave damage will be ignoring defense. And, you know, for those who have been around on the channel, you guys, you know how I am with the whole defense ignoring mechanic, right? Like, it really does help out in that extra brave damage because I mean, you're ignoring defense. So having this as a party-wide effect from Locke's BT effect really helps our character. So let's say struggle in doing brave damage, and if you do need a little bit of a boost to make sure that you cap in your HP damage, then this is a strong BT effect to have. Now, he does also include brave damage up, so that complements that defense ignoring mechanic. He also has stolen max brave overflow up, which again complements the brave damage up and the defense ignoring mechanic. Brave damage cap up, that'll increase the amount of brave damage that you're doing. So you kind of see what's going on here with Locke. Like, he's making sure that, like, not only are you getting the benefit of being able to deal more brave damage, but at the same time, though, like, he's able to increase the amount that he is doing for you. Now, as long as Locke's BT effect is active, nobody on your team cannot get broken whatsoever, which is a convenient ability, especially for, like, say, bosses who, you know, if per se they break you and they all of a sudden get instant turn away, which, you know, there have been a few fights that have been like that, then Locke's BT effect can actually be pretty useful on that. Also, he does have a bit of a Bosch type of mechanic, meaning that if your HP falls below 50% of your max HP, you will automatically go back up to the 50%. A very convenient thing to have. Now, if you do take 2 HP dumps at the same time of the enemy's turn, then this does not apply because it only works once. So kind of a bummer on that. I don't believe we do have an ability to counter more than 1 HP attack in the same turn from the enemy. But other than that, though, I mean, like, having that that bit of a Bosch type of mechanic in Locke's BT effect is actually very helpful. It makes you, in a way, like, you feel a little bit more calmer about, like, mixing up the type of, like, team comps that you could probably do. You know, like, instead of bringing a tank and a DPS and a support, maybe you could bring, I don't know, 2 supports and a DPS, or you can bring in 2 DPS and Locke. You know, just like things like that that you can look into whenever you set up team comps with Locke. Now we're going to go into some key things that we should know about each 3 of these characters. So for Machina, who's coming out tomorrow for Global as I'm recording this video. So his BT effect, he changes his HP attack into Furious Blades Burst, aka the 1 mil damage that everybody has been talking about ever since Machina's release was announced to be dropping to Global. Now, the thing is, though, with this 1 mil damage thing, or like the quote-unquote 1 mil damage, you gotta understand that, like, with Machina's kit, Machina, even though he has the ability to be able to recover Brave in between his HP attack, with the multiple HP attacks that he is doing with his Furious Blades Plus, Furious Blades Burst. The thing is, though, like, you're not always going to cap out on damage unless you have the right team comp. Because I was looking at some gameplay. I was looking at my old JP gameplay. I was looking at gameplay from other smaller content creators, or just like videos in general of players uploading their runs when Machina's raid events got announced and all the other events that he was synergy with. And, like, you look at the beginning damage that he was doing with his 1 mil, and with his Furious Blades attack, right? So if you don't set yourself up properly, especially if you are trying to focus on Machina being your sole DPS and you want to rely on that Furious Blades Burst attack, you have to make sure that you prep before you start going in, because that 20% brave damage between those attacks might help you some, but it's not going to help you at least in the first few HP dumps that you are dealing, because again, you have to either have, like, call abilities, you have to have the right support characters to be be able to help Machina in achieving that potential 1 mil damage that he can do. The thing is though, like I feel like a lot of people think that if they click Furious Blades Plus, that they are automatically going to get that 1 mil in damage, and that's not the case. You have to make sure that you got your team comp set up correctly, so that way you can take advantage of that potential 1 mil damage that he can actually do. Now, he does have an additional attack from his LD ability, so as long as you have the Spiral's Linchpin debuff on the target, it will trigger that after any type of ability that he does. And he is also able to counter if attacked, but he just deals like a brave attack, and that's it. Like later on with his C90, that gets changed. And then his skill 2 does inflict break to the target, which can be very convenient as well. Now we'll talk about Noel. Now with Noel, some things to remember about him is that Noel re-breaks the enemy constantly with the plus versions of his abilities. So that can help you, but at the same time, depending on the type of fight that you are going up against, that could actually be a negative to you, especially if you're going up against a boss where you need to let them act. So having a character like Noel might hurt you in the long run unless you're like trying to like rush down the orb or something like that. But you know, him having those re-breaks and constantly doing it, as long as you have the plus versions of your abilities, is super convenient, and it will help out against like those bosses that you do not want to act, that have no issue with them not acting. Now his LD ability provides him with a follow-up attack called the Hunter of Light buff, which must be active for this follow-up attack to trigger. Now his BT effect extends his longevity on skills since he gets free ability uses, which I mentioned earlier in the video. Now with his C90 coming up, his EX ability will be his greatest assets in terms of damage. With his BT effect active, you have a much faster EX recast gauge to use his EX more often. I made a typo on that, I'm sorry. So yes, like I mentioned earlier in the video, like if you have characters that is able to charge up your EX recast ability, which there are a few characters. I think one that comes to mind would be Ash, with her HP attack that changes after you use her LD. Queen's Order, there you go, that's what it is. You know, she is an example of a character that you can use to like instantly recharge your EX recast gauge, right? And there are a few other characters that do help as well. There is a character coming up in the same month, if I'm not mistaken, that Noel releases the C90 that does have a mechanic to where he is able to like basically instantly get your EX ready, and like having him on the team with Noel is actually super duper convenient, but that's for a character later on. If you're wondering though, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but Lude, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's the guy with the wings. He's from what is it? Final Fantasy Revenant Wings, if I'm not mistaken. If you want to look that up, check out the City of Compendium. Like, you'll find all the information on him. He's a really good character, and especially one to consider pulling in the future. But we're not talking about that right now. But you know, he's another a character that that would help you out, so that way you can maximize the amount of damage that you are dealing with Noel's EX ability, because that's basically what you want to do. Like, now that he is the one of the first few characters to get C90 for global, having that EX ability charge up fast or just instantly if possible would help out tremendously with his damage, especially with that BT effect active. Or if you do manage to go into your BT phase with Noel's BT effect active, then that's just more damage for you doing burst phase. And again, the thing is with Noel is that he does need a little bit of help, because if I'm not mistaken, with his EX ability, there is no Brave recovered in between HP attacks. So he is a character that will definitely need some help. Not that he won't have any issues capping, because, like, you know, just from what we saw with his with his BT effect and whatnot, and depending on what team comps you got going on, as long as you have like one good support character, like let's say Lena, Porm, Yustola, Bart, like characters like that is able to like battery your teammates in between their attacks, or just in general would help Noel out tremendously. And the same goes for Machina. Having those good support characters that can really benefit them, and especially those that have that Brave gain up, which you guys already know how I feel about that Brave gain up, is super important. Then that will benefit these guys in dealing that high damage that everybody has probably seen in many YouTube videos. So you kind of see like the pattern here that I'm kind of going with these two characters. Now we're gonna go off with Locke. Now Locke definitely changes up as a character with his LD and his BT effect. Now, with his LD, well, before that, he does deal weakness damage when he is not targeted with his skill 1, and also with his Genji Glove and Master Scroll attack, which we'll talk about here in a second. Now, his LD provides him a new overhead that increases his Brave damage and gives him HP damage up. And it also retains 20% Brave after every attack. So again, he has something similar to what, not entirely the same, but it's something similar to what Machina has, because Machina is able to recover HP during his attack. But with but with Locke, sorry about that, he is able to retain that throughout the entire fight because of his overhead. So that'll help him out in terms of dealing damage, especially with the attack that we are about to talk about. So after his LD use, his HP attack changes to the powerful Genji Glove and Master Scroll, which is his most powerful attack. It has 8 HP dumps in total, and it reverts back to HP after use. So again, if you want to maximize the amount of damage, make sure you have your good support characters. Make sure that you have characters that have Brave gain up, because that will help out tremendously. And there's many websites that you can check out so that you are able to know exactly like what's going on, like the Cydia Compendium, which is what I use a lot. You got the Cydia.dev. If you are wanting to know details on call abilities, you can definitely use that as well. Those links are always down in the description of every single video of mine. They are there for you guys in case you are needing help, or if you need to do a little bit of research on some of these characters, call abilities, etc. Now, finally, for Locke, excuse me, I keep thinking no for some reason. So to use the 8 HP dump attack, the Genji Glove X Master Scroll, you need to have the Genji Glove and Master Scrolls buffs active again. Again, another typo, I apologize. Now what you could do is use this LD again to grant yourself those 2 buffs, and that way you have access to that powerful HP attack. Or you can use his skill 1 and EX in order to get those buffs. I have made so many typos in this video. I apologize again. And then with Locke's BT effect, his role now changes to be a strong utility character. I honestly consider Locke to be a very strong utility utility character who helps his team deal more Brave damage. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video with his BT effect, how he has the defense ignore, he has that Brave damage up, he has that Brave damage cap up, and all that good stuff. You kind of see that with like everything that he has, he is able to help out in dealing the Brave damage. But you definitely want those support characters that'll help you out in giving you, like, say, extra HP damage up, right, from your support characters. You kind of like you need like those correct characters for your team to maximize the amount of potential out of these 2 characters. So other than that, I mean, like, there's really not much else that I can say. I kind of feel like I covered most of the important things when it comes to these 3 characters. Hopefully, this kind of in a way is what's the right words? Hopefully this kind of, Jesus Christ, what's the word? Will tell you the differences. There you go. From these 3 characters, and hopefully this kind of puts everyone's mindset in the right place on how different these characters are in terms of what they do, in terms of their BT effects, and in terms of like how they do still need a little bit of help via other characters or call abilities to be able to maximize their potential. What I'll probably do is, just in case if I did miss anything, seeing as how I am recording from my laptop, so I have no way to edit this video out, which sucks because I hate it, but I should get back to my normal routine by next week. But in case I did forget to mention something during this video, what I'll probably do is put it down in a pinned comment and just add a few couple of things that I may have forgotten to talk about during this video. But again, hopefully this video, especially to the person who asked me to do this video, but also to others, you know, you have a general idea of like what these characters do. And again, the websites are out there for you guys. You can easily do your research, you know, so that way, you know, in case you're like still like trying to figure out whether or not it is worth pulling or saving for these three characters, then at least you know now. I kind of gave you like a basic idea of what these characters do. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other things that you would like to add on to this video, you guys are more than welcome to. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So take care, guys. I'll catch you guys in my next video.